biggest in the US, and has 24 plants, and is producing and growing, and I've got the chance to be part of it, to see it grow very well and produce the chemicals and have the business grow along with it. But the most important part was we also were very good being a part of the community. And because of that, I was a part of the community and very engaged, and I was recognized as the Chamberman of the Year, Stephen F. Austin Father of Texas Award, University of Houston, a Leadership Award for MMI, and a lot of accomplishments in community I did was the Walk for Habitat, Safety Town, and these kind of projects, because my heart has always been community, students, children, education, and that's what I've been doing. After retirement, I teach a class at University of Houston, Chemical Engineering Economics. I have a master's in chemical engineering from University of Illinois, an executive MBA from Rice University. So I was able to use that my passion that I could not do during my work, and then became Port Commissioner. As a Port Commissioner, we have accomplished a lot during my time. We have eliminated taxes. We have operating income increased by a factor of 12. And then we have created about 300 new jobs. And my plan is to keep the taxes zero, focus on business development, and continue investing in the infrastructure for the future growth.
Thank you, Ravi. Mike, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first, thank you, Ravi, and thank you, the Chamber, for hosting this event. It's very nice to be here. I grew up in Pearland, and I can recall driving down 288 in Iowa Colony was just a place to get a ticket. But now it seems to be a very established place and a major player in this election, and a very, very big part of the port now. So, yes, again, my name is Mike Challenger, and I'm running for Port Freeport Port Commissioner, position 3. And my desire to it is number one, to be in the center of God's will. I've been blessed with a lot of experience, and I've got a lot of energy to help my community using the best of my skills and abilities. I do have some experience on an airport. My primary experience has been in aviation. I built a company in aviation. I've run multiple airlines. And you know, one of the things that I think that is a good fit for me in regards to this is it's very similar to my career background of almost 30 years in aviation. The airport, one thing I found is it's very similar to a seaport. You know, we all have propellers and pilots and docks and terminals and all those things. But most importantly, when it comes to taxes, I think it's a really good fit for me because I have run a tax-free business for 18 years. I developed a program called CLORPS where I primarily focus on cash, labor operations, receivables, payables, and sales. And keeping that in balance takes rigor, and I think it's going to take the same rigor to run a port tax-free as a business tax-free. And I do have the experience of doing that while building a business.
Thank you both. Thank you, Mike. At this time, we're going to ask them a set of questions, both the same questions. They have 1 minute to respond to those questions, and we're going to take turns alternating who goes first. So let's start with you, Ravi, since you're the incumbent. We're going to start with a question about economic impact. What specific plans or priorities do you have to ensure Port Freeport continues to positively impact Brazoria County's economy and job market?
Thank you, Gary. Being in the business that I was, you have to look forward to see what you have to do. For the port right now, the biggest thing is going on is a $500 million investment for the future. We have got the channel deepening project that will make us the deepest channel in the state of Texas. We will be able to carry the deepest ship going through Panama Canal. We are building docks and cranes, Super Panamax cranes and all, to be able to handle the business that we project for the future. Over the time, We have been doing this. We completed 2 docks. While we got the business growing, we got the railroad, which is cars coming in, going on. We got the new Del Monte banana last year. We got Volkswagen. We got Tenaris, which has got a big plant in Bay City. We have got at the same time Volkswagen last year, which is branded. So we are looking at the economic impact of a lot of jobs. In last year, we got 300 new jobs created at the port.
Okay, thank you. Mike, do you need to hear the question again?
Sure.
What specific plans or priorities do you have to ensure Port Freeport continues to positively impact Brazoria County's economy and job market?
Well, jobs, and more jobs. As a small business owner, I did build a business on a port and understand firsthand the frustrations from a tenant's perspective. You know, it's whenever I was building my business, I started off in a broom closet. And I always said that the government was my greatest competitor. So one thing I'd like to do is I would like to cut through some red tape and give some opportunities to some of the smaller businesses to do business on the port, open up those channels and those lines of communication for some communications for some common sense growth forward. And I think that that is going to benefit not only the port, but the community.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, we'll start with you on this question. This is about infrastructure and growth. With Port Freeport expanding and cargo volumes growing, what infrastructure improvements do you believe should be prioritized to maintain efficient operations?
Well, I'd say first and foremost, one of the things that I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks is that individually we're all talented, but as a group we're powerful. So using a team of experts and you know, bringing in the right personnel with the right experience and the right know-how and putting them together, then testing and measuring those potential solutions is the way I handle things. As a matter of fact, I did design a guide within my company called the Basic Guide to Troubleshooting that now NASA actually has adopted for that. In addition, I was the Six Sigma developer for Raytheon Aerospace and Developments early on in my career. So some of those aspects as far as staging and organizing is one of those aspects. But one of the things that I'd like to look into is the Port Assurance Program and how it can affect the neighboring cities to help the port with extra growth.
Excellent. Ravi, same question. Do you need me to repeat it?
Well, port brings the cargo in and out of the water side, but it will be as strong as how it moves back into the land or comes from the land. We are working continually on how to improve the backside. We have a connected rail interconnectivity, so we are very well positioned for that, and we keep expanding to handle the extra cargo. Same way in the roadside, 49-5, also called Pine Street, that's being redone and repaired. Highway 36 is being done, and we are working with AGAC and TxDOT to get these things going and get federal grants along with it. So we are putting new gates for connectivity for them. So you have to move the cargo efficiently back to the land where it has to go to and where it has to come from. So we continue to work on that, create the plan, start working, and these projects take some time before they come to real fruition, so we keep doing it.
Excellent. This next question will be on fiscal responsibility. And so we'll start with you, Ravi. How will you ensure responsible financial management of Port Freeport's resources and transparency in how decisions on expenditures are made?
Well, Kerry, this is in my blood when I was growing up. And when running a chemical company, which assigned about $1 billion, this Freeport site of revenues every year, and the whole corporation over 80 billion. So that was in it. But we have a finance committee at the port, We also, year after year, keep getting a certificate of very well audited, clear audit. So we take, and personally I take financial responsibility very seriously and see the procedures are being followed. In the monthly meetings, we go through the financial information and what is going on. So financially, we are well looked at, audited, and look forward for that.
Thank you. Mike, same question. How will you ensure responsible financial management of Freeport's resources and transparency in how decisions on expenditures are made?
Well, I'm not only a business owner of a business that I've built completely debt-free. So finances is obviously, but my dad also built a business. He owned an auto parts store in Pearland when I was growing up. And he went bankrupt. So found our family homeless for a period of time. So yes, finances is a deep concern of mine. And it's always been a desire to keep a keen eye on it. And that is why I did develop the program CLORPS, Cash, Labor, Operations, Receivables, Payables, and Sales. I actually call it CLORPS Plus and put a plus at the end to keep everything in balance so that I can keep a close eye on it. So I would instruct the staff, obviously, to give us those key performance indicators on a regular basis so that we, as the board, can keep an eye on positive growth. Yes, transparency is obviously important in government. I am a government official currently. I'm an elected official, so I know the importance of transparency to the public.
Excellent. Thank you both on that one. Next, we'll start with Mike. This will be on environmental stewardship. As the port grows, what measures will you advocate to balance economic expansion along with the environmental protection and sustainability? So Mike, that's directed to you first. My apologies.
Well, you know, as a tenant on a port, I understand the frustrations of it, of the environmental impact and the expenses and frustrations that come over it. But I'll be honest with you, we are all on board. We all see from a tenant's perspective and an authority's perspective and other government agencies like Health and Human Services that are involved in that as well, that we're all on board. This generation is all on board for a clean, healthy environment. We all fish in this water, our kids swim in this water. But ultimately it is a partnership. It is a partnership between the community, a partnership between the businesses, and a partnership between the authority. And it needs to continue as that we are all in this to keep the environment clean.
Thank you. Ravi, do you need me to repeat?
Yes, Terry. Well, this goes back again to my BSF experience. You don't have economic growth at the cost of environment or sustainability. BSF now is over 140-year-old company, and it doesn't get there without sustainability thinking. And that's what we do at Port, to do the right things, and we even to put more focus on it. 2 years ago, I formed an environmental ESG, environmental social governance and sustainability committee. And we look at how to do and what better we can do. We already, the new cranes that we put in the new docks, the electric cranes, ship-to-shore cranes. The new cranes that we are going to come, they will be the ship-to-shore cranes. We have put LED lights and all. So the environmental side, we're also studying now with the grant or emission inventory, how to be working on that. So they have to go hand in hand with growth. You cannot grow without environment taking care of that and sustainable growth.
Excellent, thank you both. This will be the final question. We'll start with you, Ravi. Community engagement. What strategies would you implement to improve community awareness and involvement regarding Port Freeport's activities and their impact on the local communities they serve?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that question. That's the one I'm very, very proud of and very engaged in. About 8 years ago, we started Community Advisory Panel. Each commissioner nominated 7 people to attend that, be part of it, along with the CEO. We hold quarterly meetings to talk about the activities of the port, some special topics. and at the same time try to get the feedback from the community. What are the things they are concerned with or they want to know about? And also that's how we put the subjects. We also at the same time, knowing that we are the port is owned by the taxpayer, the citizens of Port District. So we cannot spend money foolishly, just give it away. So we look at that. And we also have two things that we get community engaged: take a child fishing and golf tournament, which is done by sponsors. And we engage the community that way. And all those state requires 72-hour notice for our open meetings. And
Ravi, we got to go to the next. Thank you. Mike, community engagement, what strategies would you implement to improve community awareness and involvement regarding Port Freeport's activities and their local impact on these local communities they serve?
Well, it's important to identify the purpose of the audience that you're targeting in relation to this. I would say most importantly right now, we need to be focusing on the next generation. You know, some of our more experienced people are getting older, and making sure that we have an attraction to that generation. And it seems to me like social media, YouTube videos, fun YouTube videos are kind of what attracts them. So I'd probably ask the board to approve the marketing department to start making some entertaining videos, to start putting some attention towards the younger generation so that they could start seeing the port as number one, an opportunity for future employment, but also a great place to work and the community a great place to live.
Thank you. We're going to go into our time of closing statements. We'll start again with Ravi. Annette, also let us know what is the best way for a voter to get a hold of you if they have more questions, okay? So tell us how to get a hold of you and then give us your closing statements.
Okay, you are asking me as a closing statement right now?
Yes.
Well, to me, Gary, I bring from my experience and education a lot of leadership qualities. A port is like a business. You need more leadership qualities, how you manage that, how you work with people, and I can be the smartest person, but you can't get results that way. You have to work together with people, with commissioners, with the staff, and make it like a team. So we can accomplish a lot together, and that's what we have been doing. We have harmony. All the commissioners come from various backgrounds, but we gel together to the same focus: how to make port better, and how we support our people who are trying to execute our vision and our goals. So that's what I'll bring to the table. And that's what made me successful at BSF in the business, to go around. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I contributed a lot, and that's how we have been able to successfully be able to get to the point where we can make our tax rate zero. How we created jobs, how we created economic opportunities, $500 million expansion going on, and we are going to zero taxes. And this is what I want to maintain. That's why I'm running again, otherwise I may not have. To have the zero taxes be maintained, get the business going on. And this is what the port will be. I want to leave a legacy that way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ravi. And what is the best way for a voter to get a hold of you if they have questions? Ravi? What is the best way for a voter to find you and get a hold of you if they have questions?
I'm listed, by the way, on the port website,
Okay.
with my email, and all my business cards have my cell number. Sorry, that's my cell number. And I will leave some over here within the same day, even if I say I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but I'll leave a message for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for being here. Mike, please give us your closing statements.
Thank you so much again for hosting this. I can be reached at votechallenger.com. But I just want to, in closing, just let you guys know that I want to make the best of my skills and abilities that I've learned in order to continue to keep this community a great place to live, a great place to work. You know, I've been blessed with some time. I've been blessed with a lot of experience in business leadership. I've also had an opportunity to work as an elected official and support my community in Richwood. And I've learned the yeses and nos and the do's and don'ts of working in government. So I do believe that this is a good step for me, and I do believe that this is that I will positively affect the community. But most of all, I just want you guys to know that I am from here. I am a fourth generation. My children are fourth generation in this land. I'd like to see my kids a fifth. And my grandfather moved here after World War II and invented the pig. He was the president of F.H. Mahoney. And I remember talking to him, and he said, I asked him, why did you move here? And he said, because it's a great place to make a living. And I want to keep it that way. I want to keep this place a great place to live, a great place to work. And the port has done a great job to get us here, but I'm the one that's going to get us there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you again both, making yourselves available. Just so you don't forget, those of you that are in Manville and Iowa Colony, these guys will be on your ballot in those regions. They told you how you can get a hold of them. They will also help us get this video out, and so please pay attention of how you can get involved and know more and more about your port. Again, it makes a big difference in our region here in northern Brazoria County. So I want to thank you again for watching. Remember, early voting starts April 26th.